Welcome to Epicurus Garden School, a philosophical paradise located just outside of Athens. My name is Sierra, and together with Nelson, Noel, Tyler, and Brody, we will be translating this garden paradise into its own 3D environment. To do this, we are looking for any written information that describes the garden itself, as well as looking at how Greek gardens would have looked like at the time in order to recreate the space as authentically as we can. One of the sources that we're using is titled Ancient Mediterranean Pleasure Gardens by Ellen Churchill Semple to get an idea of the foliage and layout. We will also be using the Cambridge Companion to Epicureanism by James Wharton in order to get an idea of what sort of philosophical themes would have been present in the garden, such as the main 4 principles: don't fear the gods, don't worry about death, what is good is easy to get, and what is terrible is easy to endure. There aren't that many historical depictions of Epicurus' garden, and one main reference image we have is the philosophical school of Hellenistic Athens, Locations and Distances, by Candace H. Smith from 1984, and even that garden is not very detailed. Because of this, there's not a lot to go off of for the design of the garden, so we will have to take some creative liberties and interpretations when creating this garden. The space was a paradise for philosophy discussions, and we will be trying to emulate that by having objects scattered throughout the garden that the players may interact with to gain some Epicurean wisdom. We will be doing this by having some voice acting to inform the player of some of the main principles of Epicureanism. We will be using everything at our disposal to try to recreate the garden, with some artistic interpretation, for its original purpose to achieve ataraxia or serene calmness. Right now, we would say that we have about 25% of the project done. Each member has been taking on different roles to help create this project. I started by creating the blockout in Unreal based upon artwork done of the garden by Candace H. Smith. This will stand in the place of where our assets will eventually go, and also serves as a reference for the scale of our project. I also created a simple interaction system for our objects using Unreal's blueprinting system. The interaction system still needs some polish, including some more effective user-friendly text elements that will appear on the screen, as well as some sound effects. Nelson started by trying to get relevant sounds and editing them together to form the soundscape. This also includes the music which will be playing during the experience. He will be doing this in Pro Tools, an audio editing software. He also plans on adding some voice acting onto our interactions, which would explain the 4 main principles of Epicureanism and their meanings. Noel is currently using Photoshop and Niagara to create butterflies to populate the garden in order to make it livelier. She will also be doing modeling in Autodesk Maya to help create more of the objects found in the scene. Tyler will do the environment art and make the garden a garden once we have plants for him, but for now he is making the grass. He will also be assisting in the tech department for any systems we may need. Brody is currently modeling objects in Autodesk Maya such as the lyre and the vase, which are some of the objects the player will be able to interact with. He has also been texturing these objects using Substance Painter. Moving forward, he will continue working on the assets for our environment. So far, we still need a number of assets for our environment, including a wall, gate, bench, foliage, and amphoras. Right now, one of the biggest parts of this project that we still need to work on is the foliage for the garden. Given the project is due soon, we would like more feedback on how we might be able to complete the foliage more quickly. Would anyone have any tools, resources, or tips for making good-looking plants for our environment in a short period of time? We would also like to know if we are heading in the correct direction for creating a depiction of Epicurus' garden school, and if we have the right ideas for making it the paradise space that it was. We would really appreciate any feedback that you all would have for these parts of our project or for any other part of our project.